My name is Hamid Saeed, and I'm an image and wardrobe consultant from New York. And just to give you a small, brief intro, I've been in New York for about 20-some years, and I have helped a lot of professionals how to project the right image. And today, my actually addressing whatever that I'm going to talk about, the influencing and impacting your customers, your target audience. It's not only for technology people, it's also for CIOs, CFOs, whoever they are here. And I want to talk about briefly what are the pillars of influencing and impacting people. Number one is you ought to have expertise in whatever area that you are known for. And the other thing is you have to have communication skills. I mean, you have expertise, you don't have communication skills, forget about it. And then you have to have the, the behavior, the right behavior, empathizing with whoever you are dealing with. And then you have to have some sort of PR and social media presence. I want to share a story with you. This will apply to all these four things that I just mentioned. How I influenced Governor of New York. I had an opportunity to meet with him, and when I met him, the first thing he said to me is, "Are you the dressing guy?" I said, "Yes, sir." And he goes, "I've been wearing suits all my life. Suit, shirt, tie. What is so special that you can tell me?" I knew it was a very, very loaded question. So I had to have expertise, which I did. So the first thing, what you just told you, I shared with you is the four pillars. So I used my expertise and I said, "Sir," I said, "I have developed 5 P's of dressing." He said, 5 P's of dressing, what is that? And I said, well, first P is pigmentation. And I started talking about color and all that, the how color, eye color, hair color, skin tone, how it applies to you. So anyway, he got involved, he got engaged. And then he said to me, he says, fascinating, fascinating, fascinating. And then he murmured something. This again, the communication skills comes in. So he murmured something, he said, "But this is not what they tell me." I said, "Sir, I know what they tell you." Because I was talking more specifically about his coloration, eye color, hair color, skin tone, and what looks good on him. And he said that this is not what they tell me. So I said, "Sir, I know what they tell you." And he said, "Are you a fortune teller too?" I said, "No, I'm not, sir, but I can take a guess." He was talking about those designers that dress him. So he said, I said, all they talk about is what's in and what's out. What's in fashion, what's not in fashion, what color is good, what color is not good in that fashion or trend, whatever is happening at that time. So he said, "You are absolutely right." So again, the communication skills are very, very important when you are, here we have vendors, ERP vendors, then we have consultants, and then we have people who help them integrate all that. So once you are in front of your customer, you have to know your expertise, but more importantly, know how to communicate. So anyway, I was able to convince him, and he said, "Okay, make me a suit." And, I was able to make a suit shirt type for him. And, when I delivered, he said, right on the money, and he loved it. And that gave me a big break in the United States of America. The main thing is nonverbal communication. What's nonverbal communication? Nonverbal communication is that 93% of, by the way, your communication is nonverbal communication. And it's the first thing, as soon as you enter into a room full of people, before you utter a single word out of your mouth, guess what? You have spoken everything about you, everything about you. What are some of the things that, you talk about before you say a single word out of your mouth? Number one is social class. You are telling the other people what social class do you belong to. It's not important where do you belong to. You're from affluent, you're from middle class, you're from lower middle class, whatever you are. But if you look well groomed, I tell you something, you will have a easy sailing, no question asked. But if you don't look well-groomed, let me tell you this, there are a lot of questions. You're opening a can of worms about yourself. Then is level of success. Again, non-verbally, before you open say a single word out of your mouth. Actually, Brian Tracy says this, that you make your first impression in the first 1/10 of a second. 1/10 of a second, think about this. It's just a glance. You take a glance at a person, and you think about all these things, where he belongs from, level of success, how successful you are, how successful you look. You may be very successful, but if you don't look successful, let me tell you this, it's going to be very, very hard battle ahead of you. And if you don't look successful, what do you look? You look probably unsuccessful. So how far can you go with that kind of image? Level of confidence is extremely important. Do you look confident? Again, we're talking about non-verbally here. If you don't look confident, what do you look? You look like you are kind of not sure about yourself. You're not, you're nervous about yourself and all that. And education, you have education, you must look like have you an education. Financial status, I tell you this, you may not have a penny in your pocket, but don't show it. Do not show it. If you look poor, let me tell you this, how the world is going to treat you. It's going to dismiss you. You may have the greatest idea about whatever you're selling, idea, concept, product, whatever, but they're not going to pay attention to you. And then is authority. Without authority, forget about it. If you don't look like you have authority on the subject, and you actually are showing authority, I mean, it's not saying, oh, I'm the boss, this and that, but your look is like that you have authority, then let me tell you this, again, it's going to be easy road for you. And then the last thing is status and stature. All these things you do not say. You do not say, I have authority. You do not say, I'm a successful guy. You do not say that I'm a confident guy. Let me tell you this, you say it all with your appearance, with how you look, with your ambience, with your persona, with your personality, the whole 9 yards. So it's not who you are. This is the bottom line. It's not who you are, but how you are perceived by your target audience. That's the main story here. And then next, move to the next. What are the subliminal messages of, I'm not going to say IT professional because I'm corrected here, it's technology professional, or it could be the CIO, it could be the CFO, it could be anybody. What are your subliminal messages you have to give through your attire? Number 1, trustworthy. Number 2, credible. If you don't look trustworthy and credible, forget about that. I mean, the game is over. I mean, who's going to do business with you? Who's going to buy from you? Who's going to listen to your idea, concept, and all that? And then, obviously, authority, power, you got to show that. They should not take you like you're weak. They should not take you like you have no presence and you are insignificant. But at the same time, you must look also approachable. It's not that, 3-piece suit with a tie pin, pocket square, and whole 9 yards. You got to also look approachable. And then you have to look highly successful. Again, if you don't look successful, they're not going to treat you as such. And the last things are refined and polished. You must look refined and polished. The next one. These are the subliminal messages of. Now, how do you, I don't have 8 hours here to give a full presentation, but let's talk about trustworthy and credible. How can you look trustworthy and credible with what you wear? I tell you this, the best thing is the white shirt. The white shirt. White shirt means trustworthy. White shirt means credible. White shirt means pure. White shirt means honest. White shirt means refined. White shirt means polished. White also represent symbol of peace. और हमारे नबी पाक सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम का भी most favorite color क्या था? White. So you could never go wrong with that. So that's how you establish trustworthy and credibility. I'm a manufacturer also. I have probably more than 200 shirts in my closet. But let me tell you this, every day I wear my white shirt. I wear my white shirt. So white shirt is your best friend, I would say. Next. Can we run this video? That'd be great.
I was just dreaming about Robert Mueller. You might have heard of him. He's currently leading the investigation into this guy's Russian connection. He's the only man that Donald is currently really afraid of. Also, he's a war hero, wounded and decorated in Vietnam. He was the director of the FBI for 12 years. And he's famous for one more thing. He only ever wears white shirts. I mean, always. No exception. None. At all. When he was the director of the FBI, his people wouldn't even dare to wear a light blue shirt. They knew he'd notice and not like it. I think it's because in the movies, the good guy is always wearing white. I salute him. You can't go through life without ever wearing a purple tie or a silk pocket square or golden cufflinks. But you can never live a decent life without the white shirt. A white shirt is like an empty canvas. It's there for you, like an old friend. It's like freshly fallen snow. Or white marble, pure and simple. It has the ultimate clarity. Especially for those of you who are just beginning to dress properly. Start at the bottom. The white shirt, the basic building block. It cannot ever be the wrong choice. Put one on in the morning, and you've got 50% of your outfit sorted. The rest just falls into place. Why not take a leaf out of Robert Muller's book and let the color of angels do the talking?
Now, who wears white shirt? Let me tell you this. The most powerful men in the world, they wear white shirt. Who are those? They are G7 presidents. It's Putin, it's Biden, and you can look it up and Google it up for the last 10 years. Take all their pictures. You will see invariably they're wearing white shirt. Now, this is not a club. This is not like Putin calls Biden, hey, you know, tomorrow's meeting, what are you going to wear? And he says, oh, I'm going to be wearing white shirt. Oh, you're wearing white shirt? I will also be wearing white shirt. That's not how it works. So at the right at the top, and invariably, you know, I mean, they have all the help, image consultants and whatnot, and they are wearing white shirts, so what's our excuse not to wear it? How can I help you? I can transform your employees into company ambassadors. If you allow me to come there, I do the training, I do the workshops. I mean, this is like just a small, intro that I was able to present it to you, but it's a whole science to it. I can also transform you as a leader, because how to communicate, how to get that, how to impact and influence people. Your personality comes first. Before you say a single word, you have said everything about you. I can also design your strategic wardrobe. Next. The greatest influencer in the history of Pakistan, our Qaid. The dressing that he carried, the way he wore, the way he carried himself, that was just, it's never been seen after that. And I tell you this, he was the most well-dressed man in his era. Even all the viceroys, their wives, when he will visit, they wanted to meet with him because of his dressing and all that. Plus, he had the communication skills. I mean, his communication was just impeccable. And then obviously he had empathy. You know, he knew how to deal with the behavior and all that. And the last thing is that he had a good PR about himself and all this. So the question I want to leave you is with this. By the way, I want to tell you a little story. It's a pretty sad story. When he was in his deathbed, only 3 days away from dying, he was asked to attend a meeting. Actually, when I read this story, it brought tears into my eyes. And probably I think it's going to also leave you kind of sad. So he was asked that, sir, would you please attend a meeting? And we know that you are in this shape. You don't have to change your clothes. Please come and just in this, we know that you cannot do that. So he thought for a second. He said, I will attend the meeting, but I will change my clothes. So he put all his energies together, this on his dying bed, all his energies together, and he got up, he changed, and then he attended the meeting. So my question to you is this, or to us is this, what's our excuse? What's our excuse? So every morning we have to ask ourselves, what image do I project? You know, stand in front of the mirror. Mirror cannot lie. Don't ask your spouse. Do not ask your friends. Do not ask anybody, how do you look? Ask the mirror. Mirror will tell you, what image do I project? And what's the image I want to project? Just another question that we should ask every single day. And then what am I silently communicating? What am I silently communicating? What am I saying? What am I conveying? Am I conveying those messages we just went through? Do I look successful? Do I look confident? Do I look trustworthy? Do I look credible? Do I look, I am educated? Do I look that status, stature, whatever they are, if I'm a C-level guy? And then how can I improve? Next. So I will stop here. And this is thought for the food for the thought, I hope. Now I will take any questions. I mean, I know this topic is a very, very deep topic, but any question on dressing, I would definitely entertain it.